Go on, Mayhem, take us away, buddy.
Champions again, ole ole. Play the jingle, Morg.
Yahoo! Hello and good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome along to the Football Booth podcast. My name is Fennan, I'm one of your main hosts. Join alongside me, the man who I like to believe sets the standards for this podcast in general. I've got Mayhem with me. How you doing, mate?
Very upbeat, very happy. Indeed, mate.
Mate, spirits are high, and we have a third individual joining us today. We've got Cam back. How you doing, mate?
I'm very good. Yourself?
Not too bad, not too bad. I believe you're in high spirits yourself as well after yesterday's fanatics.
Yeah, man. Good Sunday. Nice and warm.
Nice and warm. You look nice and warm now with your fucking duvet wrapped around you.
Oh, mate, I'm cold. Cold man. Cold individual.
What was it you said that you looked like, Mayhem, before we went live?
I don't know. I say many things. I don't remember much.
It's a bit of a junkie look he's got going on.
You're a fucking junkie.
Oh. Brilliant.
Celtic 2, Rangers 1, Scottish League Cup champions. Boys, how you feeling?
First ever Viaplay.
Viaplay Cup final.
Oh,
My apologies.
Do you know what? Cam will tell you the same, but there's a lot of childhood trauma. Not so much for Cam, that he's grown up in an era where we've dominated, but I think imparted from myself and my dad, growing up in a time where they were cheating with everything they possibly could. With a lot of childhood trauma. So anytime these games come around, it's sickening. And I was pretty confident. Speaking to anyone, I think I even said last week, I was pretty confident on Hampden, on the bigger pitch, that we would have too much from. And for the first 16 minutes of the game, we played some decent stuff on an absolutely torrid pitch again.
Yeah.
And an absolute...
Yeah. I watched the game. I'm pretty sure, I think I missed the first 10 minutes, but I watched it pretty much from start to finish. And there were a lot of uneasy moments in that game. There were, especially when Morelos got that goal back and things seemed to really unsettle. And then just, it looked as likely that the chances from Matt O'Reilly and Haksabanovic at the end would have been the perfect icing on the top. But ultimately, saw the game out in the end, especially whether, I wouldn't say weathering the storm, but obviously, like I said, it was pretty uneasy at the time. But most of the game, it just felt like whatever was falling to Kyogo, things were happening, and that was the outcome.
Yeah, first half, I think we were massively on top.
Yeah.
McGregor was fantastic. They really did a job on him at Ibrox, where they dropped in and made it difficult. They couldn't pick him up. They couldn't do the same job.
Yeah.
And he's massive. He's so integral to how we play.
Yeah. I thought Maeda struggled massively in that game. I think he got caught in a lot. I think there was a lot of scenarios where he found himself in space down that left flank, and he just got caught in too many mindsets, really, wasn't he?
I think the difficulty with Maeda is he didn't have his best game in terms of going past people.
Yeah.
But I think James Tavernier would have gone to bed last night still thinking Maeda was chasing him. So
yeah,
the work ethic he puts in is fantastic. If he doesn't make that run across Davis for the first goal, I know he miskicks it, but if it doesn't make that run, it probably doesn't go through to Kyogo.
Exactly. Yeah.
And the interchange was decent. Yeah, he didn't have his best game in being penetrative and from an attacking force, but the work ethic and what he brings to the team. I'm surprised, to be honest, that he walked around the side of the pitch when he was subbed and he didn't jog, because the guy just never stops. He's fantastic, and he brings a whole other element. He is a frustrating player to watch at times, but he certainly brings that press that Ange wants to play with, he's almost the trigger for every single time, and he covers so much ground. So yeah, not his best attacking, but for the kind of level that he's set, and brings everyone up to that level. And again, I mean, James Tavernier would be waking up in a cold sweat because he'd still think he was chasing him down even when he was tucked up in his bed, a serial loser. But yeah, overall, I think we were far and away the better team. We got our goal that we deserved in the first half. Second half, we got the 2-goal cushion and we could breathe for a wee second, and then obviously we let them back into it with a sloppy goal. And once you concede that kind of goal, then they're going to have a spell of pressure, which came. I know that I think Kent hit the post and Sakala missed a chance. We put some to the side then, but apart from that and their goal, I can't really remember Joe having to make a save. So didn't really get through much. And overall, like you said, and they're pushing for a goal, but Haksabanovic has 2 chances at the end. He's one that you kind of like.
Yeah, he has 2. Yeah, where McGregor saves the first one. Yeah.
So in the end, the scoreline could have been a lot more flattering. But at the end of the day, the first trophies in the cabinet. We're 9 points ahead in the league. We quickly turn our focus to St Mirren, and obviously Hearts in the Scottish Cup, and ramping up for another magical season.
Absolutely, mate. I thought both fullbacks had brilliant games as well, in Greg Taylor and Alistair Johnson.
Yeah, I think Greg Taylor, we know what we're going to get from there.
Looked a bit shaky towards the end, but I think that, of course, came along with, obviously, the circumstances at that point in the game where Rangers were pushing and looking to be on top and find an equaliser out of whatever they can get. And in the I thought overall, Greg Taylor, I thought he was superb. Like, of course, plays a big part in that first goal, and then just throughout the game, just non-stop covering ground, making crucial tackles. Same with Carter Vickers with the big one. And I think it was the one that before it got to, was it Malik Tillman at the back post as well?
Oh, gets the blocking.
Like, very impressively solid performance from the back line.
Yeah, we know now what we're going to get with Greg Taylor, and I think, when he first come in, that wasn't the case. We searched around for, Bolingoli and
Bolingoli, yeah.
I think Dan just really took him onto another level, and he's been fantastic now for a wee while. So we know what we're going to get. Obviously, Alistair Johnson, I think, has come in and slotted in really, really well to a team, which isn't easy to do, to come into a winning team and replace Juranovic, who wasn't everyone's cup of tea. At Celtic, there was a few people that he wasn't their favourite player, but I think we realised that he was a decent enough player. Played well at the World Cup, so he had big boots to come in. The right back position's been especially strong over the last couple of years. Juranovic and Frimpong, and obviously before that we had Mika for so long. So there's a lot of pressure on that. The way that Ange plays with the wing backs, they have to invert and take on a lot of responsibility. And yeah, I thought he was fantastic. Ryan Kent. It would be ignorant to say that Ryan Kent doesn't have ability. He does have it. He can play well. He scored a really good goal at Ibrox. He's been playing far better under Michael Beale since he's come in. So he had a big job to do outside, and I think he done it superbly against them.
Yeah, massively. Obviously, cannot disregard the absolute scenes in the Celtic end as well after the first Kyogo goal. Honestly, for one moment I didn't know if you were playing at Hampden Park or Baghdad, mate.
Yeah,
ridiculous.
Between the Green Brigade and the boys, they bring something special every single game, and there's maybe a bit of silliness before the game. I see that they had
there was a lot of footage over on Twitter from that.
At least Rangers won the "We Chased Them Away" trophy. Fair play to us boys.
Came away with something,
cabinet.
Yeah.
Happy days. The Onion Bears have got their B trophy.
The Onion Bears. Aren't they crisps?
They fucking look like crisps. But yeah, that silliness before, which I'm not for at all. Like let those scumbags get on their way. We don't need to engage with that shite. But obviously the Phoenix Typho before the game was brilliant, and then obviously the scenes in the stand as when we went 1-up were fantastic, and the atmosphere was brilliant. But that shows, I think, more than anything, when we go to Hampden and it's 50-50 and there's both sets of fans, it shows, the derby's innocent by having, 700 odd fans tucked away in a corner, and what we've moved away from because of, one club being petty and not being able to take one team turning up and partying too much because she's was shy. So we've lost that, but obviously it was a great spectacle, and buzzing to get over the line to get the first trophy in the cabinet.
Yep, and that made it in total 22 trophies in the last 11 seasons.
Obviously the boys bring the banner out, and brilliant. They thought they just
you certainly set the standards, mate.
They just fall into these traps all the time. You know what I mean? It's like the kind of people, the kind of adults that really should be writing their name in crayon still. It's ridiculous. But
no, they definitely still do.
I think we set the standard a long time ago. Scott Brown, I think, famously says, we do our talking on the pitch, and Callum's of that ilk, and we've gone again. We obviously had a terrible season where we binned the 10, and they had a little spot of playing in front of no fans and not feeling any pressure, and you've seen from the meltdown how fickle their fans are. Michael Beale's lost one game since he's come in. Whether he's been fortunate or not to do that is besides the point. He's lost one game, and they're kicking off that he hasn't been able to close the gap in the league. Well, that's because Celtic haven't lost a game, so it wouldn't have mattered if he had Carlo Ancelotti in charge, even to close the gap, So it's been a maddening time for him, I'm sure, to go on such an unbeaten run and not close the gap in the league, and then come to Hampden and ultimately lose another cup final. Last time we played in the cup final was the famous Fraser Forster Cup final. This one was nowhere near as horrific to watch as that one, but same outcome. This time Michael Beale's on the pitch doing his best Phil Brown impression after the game, rather than Ryan Jack crying into Steven Gerrard's arms, which is a picture that will stay with us forever. So yeah, long may it stay. They inject their pain straight into my veins, pal. I fucking love it.
And I think, along with you and the rest of the Celtic folk, you got to surely look at the rest of the season now as 1 down, 2 to go.
I think we've been blessed that's almost what we think now. Straight with a tough game, but make no qualms about it. We have a tough game to go to Tynecastle on a Wednesday night, in the quarter final, and they've Wraith at home. Tough game.
Yeah.
So they're already in a semi-final again. So we've got to get past Hearts, and then see who the draw comes. The draw is going to be ridiculous. I think is it like Falkirk and Ayr are playing each other, so one of those two are going to be in a semi-final of a Scottish Cup, which is a wee bit nuts. So we already know who Rangers will play in the semi-final. So
I'll get Falkirk.
Go Ray Rovers, yeah.
It'll be if we're gonna do the treble, then it'll be back at Hampden against them in the final, and I think that would push that lot over the edge. See if we beat them for another treble. It would break them, and it would mean we've won more trophies than them. It would mean we've won more trebles than them. It would absolutely break them, and it would be an absolute
100%, yeah.
meltdown. No brown brogues and setting standards and all this piss that Bill's come out with is going to save him. If he don't get a trophy, he'll be sacked.
Yeah, no, 100%. Well, I wanted to get your input as well, Cam, on the place Celtic are in right now.
Yeah, mate, nice. I haven't really had much pain as a Celtic fan growing up. There was a couple nights under the lights and all that, but yes, I don't really watch them much. I'm normally working or I'm out, so I don't really watch. So
You just don't watch football in general, by the
I
sounds of
don't.
it.
It bores me so much now, man. Like the ball's in play. Like there was a stat like the ball's been played in like 90 minutes, and like the Scottish League for like 55 minutes of the game. Like half it's just out. Just it bores like so. What I hate playing them. I hate it, but it's like the most open game, most extensive game of football we get to watch and play in Scotland. See some of the players. I can't be bothered to watch play like Aberdeen play 11 people behind the ball. Or Motherwell play 11 people, and you're just like, oh mate, what's the hassle for this? But yeah,
You have high standards, don't you?
I do. I was having an argument with a Man United fan in the pub that they were going mental. Louis Diary about the League Cup final. I was like, that's a joke. Fred the size of Man United. He's like, ooh. I was like, mate, if you're not winning league titles, it's a failure of the season.
Well, I think you've given us the ideal transition there, Cam. So going from one cup final to another, of course, we saw United run out 2-0 winners over Newcastle. It felt like a couple of weeks back. I think me and you, Joel, had strongly favoured Newcastle to win the trophy at the end, but it just felt like as the weeks went on and as Newcastle had that dip and the way United had been playing recently, and then especially after the Barcelona result, I kind of sat there and just thought, yeah, they'll go and beat Newcastle this Sunday.
I thought 40,000 Geordies travelling down. I thought there would be. I don't think Newcastle played bad from defence to midfield to the edge of the United box. They never looked like scoring.
Yeah.
I only caught the second half. I was obviously watching us.
Yeah, St. Maximum has a good chance in the first half, but then, I mean, I'm sure there'll be people that would say that it would have been different if we had Nick Pope available, but I thought Karius had an okay game. I don't think he could have done much. I thought
second goal.
I mean, the second goal, yeah, all right.
I think the first. I don't know.
I don't think you can get near the first. I think
the first one he can't get near, but the second one obviously with a deflection as well. But he does. Yeah, he kind of flaps at it, but I think he made some big saves later on in that game.
Have you seen his warm-up highlights? They're brilliant.
they're not very endearing.
Are they really that? I haven't seen the fucking warm-up highlights.
Mate, you should give it a watch.
I watched the highlights earlier. I thought he did all right.
I think if you watch that second goal, I think for me is yes.
I think he commits too early with it. That's the problem with it. Yeah,
it's flapping. But I think if it doesn't get the deflection, then it's still going in. The way that he's set up and he goes, he makes a good save from Bruno when the game's dead, and there's absolutely nothing on it. But I think Pope would save the second one, and then that way they're only one down. And I think, like I said, for the second half that I watched, Newcastle they had a lot of the ball, and I think that by that point United had decided to play on the counter attack and probably decided to give up a wee bit of possession, but they were okay until they got to the edge of the box, and Callum Wilson or Isaac or Sinetti and Maximan Almiron, they just seemed to run out of ideas, didn't quite know where to go with it. And bar like a loopy header to the back post, De Gea again didn't have much to do. So I feel bad for the Newcastle fans. Obviously they were fantastic, still going mad at the end of the game, 2-0 down. They've travelled all that way down. Yeah, they've had a torrid time over the last sort of 11 years.
24 years. Last final they got to, I think they said.
It's been her, especially her if it comes to
67 years since they last won a trophy, wasn't it?
Yeah, getting the line, mate.
The last 11 years under Ashley have been brutal for them. So they've broken that. Obviously, that monotony. I think the future's bright for them, but
I
felt a wee bit sorry for them. But in the end, I think the right team won. I think Ten Hag made some changes that I don't think, as sitting here as armchair fans that we would have made, but everyone that come on was fantastic. Wan-Bissaka.
I fell asleep, mate. I generally fell asleep watching it.
Of course you did.
I woke up. I woke up. I see Man United lift the Ten Hag dancing. I was like, fucking. Tess was laying on me. I was like, oh, Tess, let me check my phone, see if my bet came in. I won £168. I was like, I'm happy with this. I turned it over. They scored. I just thought, I just wanted Newcastle to win. I, I can't get behind this hype train of like Man United are a good footballing team.
No, what was this argument you said that you were having with a United fan?
Oh, that they were going mental about the EDF like winning that cup. I was just like, you're Man United, man. I expect that from like Arsenal, you know, that they're happy to be there. They've won a cup or something, like a Tottenham fan, like happy to break it, but not Man United, man. They're too big for that sort of stuff. Stature of clubs should be fine for league titles and Champions League. Like if you go mental, like, you remember when they laughed at Liverpool for doing that treble where they won the FA Cup, Europa League,
Yeah, the UEFA Cup.
Mate,
Yeah, it was
they'll get
basically
like, they'll get the bus out. They'll roll the bus out for something like that now these days. Well, they're odds on. I'd reckon they're odds on favourites of doing it as well. Well, they're in the fifth round of the FA Cup. They
What are
should
they?
win
In
the
the last
Europa League.
16 of the Europa League now, or are they the quarter final?
I think it's the last 16. I don't know how they've done it now. But yeah, bar Arsenal, you'd say they're the most likely team to win the Europa League.
Do you fancy them to chase down Arsenal and City?
I have a horrible feeling they might actually win the league, mate. Horrible feeling.
Can't see it. Like,
I don't know.
How has he saved that?
Have you got the Swansea Rotherham game on?
Yes, Rotherham are back for it, mate.
Oh, fucking hell. Just stay as it is. Can they just both lose?
No, I need Rotherham to win £200. Can it not fucking stay as it is?
Nah.
Yeah,
cash out.
Cash out, mate. What's your cash
Score.
out?
£17.
£17 joke.
Let that run, mate.
Exactly, for a tenner. Fucking Stabio, Lazio, fucking, they won.
Stabio Lazio.
Yeah, they won, mate. Absolute screamer.
Yeah, but no, like I think the game in itself, I think Cam summed it up maybe a little less eloquently than some others may have put it, but it was a wee bit. Newcastle were flat, and the final was a bit dull after United went in 2-up. But I think it was good game management from Ten Hag, good substitutions, sort of nullified them and defended well. Varane and Martinez did really well up against the centre forwards on the day.
The referee was yellow card happy, wasn't he? What they end up like 11, 12?
I don't know. I don't know how many cards are shown.
It's just a bit crazy, mate. I booked had Casemiro to get booked. I was like, I see a Brazilian midfielder.
Oh,
get booked
Joel
for
Linton
United.
got booked for
Fucking-
Newcastle, I know that.
Yeah. Fucking Tubby Shaw got booked. I was like, oh, all these, mate.
I think United have still got. Still, if you still look and you break down that team, you're being critical. I think they still need 2 wing backs, probably another midfielder.
Yeah.
Definitely need a striker.
Yeah.
So there's question marks.
Need
They need another outlet for goals, bar Rashford.
Because he's not going to be in this for next season.
No,
remember-
absolutely not.
I remember like a certain season where a certain Welsh wizard had played for Tottenham, and everyone like, oh, Tottenham are one man club. Rashford does it, and everyone's like, he feeds the kids. Leave him alone. Oh, okay.
They're in big trouble if
Oh,
Rashford
red.
gets some luck.
Fucking hell. Send him
Yeah.
off.
They're in big trouble if Rashford gets injured.
He's playing with an injury yesterday, wasn't he? He wasn't 100% fit.
I don't know, was he?
Yeah, that's what they said because he was a doubt for the
It's
game.
because Araujo fucking shut him out in the bloody Barca game.
I don't know how they won that Barca game. I really don't.
I mean, it's a good goal from Antony.
I can't remember. Oh yeah, the dummy and then yeah.
Yeah, it's a good goal.
I mean, if Anthony scores, they should just win instantly. Like, guy's dog shit.
Yeah, £100 million is for Ten Hag to bring his pal
They do, and he spins in the
They're
change.
boys, mate.
Probably. Yeah. Boys.
£100 million. That's what
Yeah,
I
spinning
think
each
these
other's
days.
dicks. Yeah.
He had a
was-
tenner in him going to United.
I think there's question marks over Sancho, still question marks over Anthony.
Yeah, he's a fat little fuck. That's the question mark. Where's that belly gone? He's the new bakery, mate. I generally think he's dog, Sancho. I think he was good. I don't know actually. I don't think he's good at all. I don't know what I was about to come up with some bollocks of saying, but I think he's wank. I think United need get Greenwood back. He's innocent. He takes charge. He likes attacking women and defenders. So it's the best of both worlds.
Any more?
No.
On to Cardiff City.
Oh, fuck off, mate. You've missed Tottenham winning for once, so fucking while you're back.
Oh, I thought I was going to put best for last for you, you fucking ungrateful git.
Oh, fucking fuck you next time I see you, mate. Pin you down.
I mean, we were going to put you in the second half because Tottenham do fuck all in the first.
Yeah, there you go.
Talking about games to put you to sleep. I put that on before the derby. Jesus
I didn't even watch it,
Christ.
mate. I was out.
Of course you fucking didn't.
The only time I don't come
We
on.
get
is I
it,
watch the
you don't
whole
watch
West
football
Ham.
anymore.
I watched the West Ham Tottenham game.
It's good you're on the football booth.
You know what I mean?
No. Start
You'll be
nothing.
better on the booth.
Yeah, just like drinking and drugs booth. Bollocks on that.
Weatherspoon's booth here, mate.
Absolute states on a Saturday.
Oh. But yeah, so leaving the second half Wonder Kids till the second half.
Wee.
Over to you, Morg. And what I imagine is, look, I know that it's probably not going to be easy to talk about, but you're away to Norwich, recently.
No, if I'm honest, mate, no, I was kind of expectant to not come away with any points against Norwich. Norwich are a team that should be higher up the table than where they are at the moment, but
They can't read them right.
Yep, and have 7 fingers on one hand. So no, I'm joking. That's Swansea. Norwich are a very strong Championship side, and really what took place during that game, I thought the first 10 minutes we were superb. We were on top, creating chances, pressing the back line, and then it just seemed from that point on we stepped off and allowed Norwich to have possession and allow them to create opportunities that just should never have come to fruition. Sabri said it himself, like that we gave them 2 goals purely because we stepped off of them completely. And I knew there was going to be a cautious approach because he then reverted from having Cabba and Atete up top to then he started Connor Wickham, which I don't really understand why. That guy hasn't been fit for fucking 10 years. So baffling decision as to why he started. I like Connor Wickham, but this is a guy that's glass bones and paper skin. Like he's not a player that's ready to start. I much prefer him to be more of just an aerial threat impact player, as he was against Birmingham away, where he made himself a nuisance. Like he wasn't brilliant, but
when did you sign Connor Wickham?
He'd signed with Forest Green for the first. Yeah, he still plays. Ripe age of 29. So no, he was a free agent.
He's not 29.
Yeah, he's 29. He's 29.
No, he's not.
Look up on Google, mate. He's 29.
Connor Wickham's like this generation's Neil Mellor, isn't he? Like, what
He really
going
is.
on?
Yeah, a guy that was he was a wonder kid on fucking FM 15 or something. Not even that. FM 10.
And he'll end up on Gillette Soccer Saturday in the next 3 years.
You know the drill with Connor Wickham. Yeah, it'll definitely happen.
We're down to the Reebok. Nice.
Yeah, but no. So he had the first 6 months at Forest Green, did okay. I mean, of course, Forest Green are in League One, and then
Bottom of League One.
bottom of League One, rock bottom of League One.
Well, he fits in with Cardiff, doesn't he?
Yeah, exactly.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, meow. That's why you're fucking last, mate. And so Yeah, he got let go because, go figure, got injured in January, so they didn't renew his contract, and then Sapri picked him up on a free. I think, yeah, he picked him up literally on the day we beat Birmingham. That's when we signed him.
Good luck, Charlton.
Yeah, shall we discuss that Liverpool Real Madrid game? Of how quickly fucking things changed.
It was horrific, really, wasn't it? It was actually difficult to watch.
I didn't watch it. There's a shock.
The level of defending in a knockout, Champions League game, especially when the Premier League like to pick himself up as being the best league with the best players, and you've got whoever I don't even know who was at the back. Was it Joe Gomez? I imagine.
Yeah, Joe Gomez. Yeah, Gomez and Van Dijk.
Like, all over the place. Like, Van Dijk, he just seemed. I don't know what's happened to him. He seems to be gone. They're still playing Trent Alexander-Arnold at right back. Guy can't defend.
No, he can't. That Militao goal was criminal from Trent.
Robertson isn't popping the ball off to Mane, so everyone's seeing his true colours. I've been saying it for a long time. Yeah, Liverpool are in
dire need of something.
big trouble.
Yeah.
It's Klopp, isn't it? It's his 7th season. It's a curse. He doesn't ever rebuild. That's his problem. Runs all the players into the ground and then wonders why they're not running anymore.
I mean, yeah, you look at the average age of the squad is mad,
The midfield that started against Palace is laughable. Milner, Henderson, and Kaya.
Oh, yeah. Naby Keita.
Yeah, it's horrendous.
Who's finishing 4th then, Cam?
It's a little club in North London, mate.
Yeah. Go on, you can have your turn now if you want. You won! You beat Chelsea!
Yeah, I mean, I didn't watch it.
There it is!
I watched us play West Ham. We looked really good in that game.
in the
Really,
second
really
half.
good from
Yeah.
from start to finish, mate. We looked like a better team. But West Ham,
He's definitely a manager on thin ice now, Graham Potter.
He's there till the end of the season, mate. They're not going to sack him now, are they? Yeah, we looked really good in that first half against West Ham. Looked really good in the whole game, but it's West Ham. And then the Chelsea game, I was so confused. I was in the pub with Jack. And Jack's like, "Oh, someone's got a red card." And I was like, "What?"
That was a Ziyech red card, yeah.
And I want to watch the highlights. How is he not? How is the ref took the red card? He just slapped him in his face. He's got so he's rescinded that. Then it turned into a bit of a war, but yeah, Tottenham won. Tottenham beat Chelsea, which they did first time in 5 years at home or away in the Premier League, which is always nice. Chelsea are proper shit. Tottenham are good at going on late season runs. Hopefully, maybe a little FA Cup trophy to break the 15 years without a trophy would be nice.
Well, that's not top silly.
Maybe beat Milan and get through to the last 8 of the Champions League.
The first leg was dire and all.
Here's a shock,
You didn't
Joel.
watch it?
Didn't watch it.
Are you going to watch any more games this season, Cam?
It's Man United playing on Sundays because it's probably the only game I watch.
Jesus Christ.
Just watch his live updates on Bet365.
Probably. I've got nothing left. No, with Tottenham, it annoys me watching Tottenham because I think Harry Kane's in the midfield. Just lay the ball down, play it to Son or play it to that little Ukrainian boy, play it to the Brazilian, and then Kane's in defence. And I'm thinking, where's our striker?
Swedish boy, you mean?
Yeah.
I thought he was
Kulusevski.
Ukrainian.
No.
I thought he's war fighting. No, but yeah, it's a funny one with Tottenham because every time I don't seem to watch them, they play really well. Every time I seem to watch them, they just play like they don't know how to pass the balls to each other. Lloris is
Every time you watch them?
Yeah, so every time they've been
So
battered,
never.
I've probably watched them. Lloris isn't a big miss. Fraser Forster shit. Romero was good, but he has a rash tackle on him. It was a good performance, I think. Apparently they battered us in the first half, though. So,
I don't know. I'd say they battered, you know. It was a
oh,
bit of a damp squid the first half, to be honest.
that sounds a bit joke, mate. Where's that?
And then in the second half, obviously, Oliver Skip scores a.
It's poor goalkeeping. I see the goal. Yeah, Kepa should be getting to that.
Well, he gets a hand to it, doesn't he? I think it's travelling at quite a hefty
Speed of
pace.
light.
I didn't see the Kane goal, but obviously
He just taps in. Eric Dyer with his fat, like 20p shaped head, misheaders the ball, and Kane's in the back post just to slot it in there.
taking to 200 goals in the Premier League.
Is it 200?
Yeah, he's what 8 behind
Jesus.
Rooney, 60 something odd behind Shearer.
60. If he's up, Shearer got 260, so 60 behind.
So yeah,
He scored 30. He scored 20 plus goals in the last 10 seasons, I think.
well he's probably what is he 30, coming 30,
20. Yeah, I think so. I think he's 29 this year.
Probably what got with the way that fitness is now and nutrition and that, and if he looks after himself, probably got another 5 years.
I'd have gone 10, but yeah.
10.
10 years.
Yeah, I think he's going to be one of these players.
Look, he's not
Not at the peak of
goals
his
at
powers.
40.
Not at the peak of his powers.
Not at the peak of his powers. No, I think, but he's probably got another 5 years playing at a decent level. So he doesn't need to bank the 20. He probably only needs that 15 a season. I think he'll comfortably get that for the next. I think he'll comfortably get that 20 goal mark for the next couple of years and put him within range. And then, he's probably a bit part player. And then that may be when he leaves Spurs.
I think he might score another 100. He might get to 300.
Another 100.
I think he might get to 300. If he stays at Tottenham, he'll break Shearer's record. If he leaves Tottenham this year, I think he'll score another 100. If the team's formed around him.
What's he Tottenham chats about him going to United, doesn't it?
Yeah, if he goes to United, he breaks it, mate. He missed out on City. He should have gone to City.
Yeah, he should have 100%. But Tottenham didn't let him leave.
Yeah.
Is United a more productive side to create chances for Harry Kane and Tottenham?
100%, yeah.
Do you think?
I think so, yeah. I think if that workhorse gets chances, like Kane will create his own chances. Bruno's the best midfielder. If you combine that Tottenham team to
best midfielder and what?
Out of midfielders in that out of Tottenham and thingy, like creating chances, I think you'd start a combined 11. You'd very struggle to get probably 3 Tottenham players in there. I think you get Kane. Well, I think you'd only get Kane in. Maybe Holbeer this season's been really good for us.
I just think that with Rashford on the left and the way that Tottenham are set up, would Rashford be taking goals off of Kane? Where at Tottenham, that's maybe being squared or crossed into the box because he is the focal point.
I don't think it is, because I think you look at Son last season and how many goals they've combined for. I think he would get more chances at United than he would at Tottenham. I think.
Are Tottenham willing to sell him?
No, because last proven by the
last year of his contract, and after this, he's into his last year of his contract. So in the summer, Daniel Levy can't get Kane to sign an extension. Which there's rumours that he wants an extension, but for whatever reason, Levy can't get him to sign it. Can Tottenham afford?
No.
To not sell him?
Oh, probably, but I think it's a disservice to the man. I think it was a disservice. If he wanted to go City, I'd have happily waved him off to the league titles he deserved to win.
Who do you replace him with?
We said
Don't
it
say
last.
Lukaku.
That is the one that miners for Inter.
Lautaro Martinez.
Yeah, he's always been there or thereabouts, hasn't he? No one's ever really given him a shot. Maybe someone that comes up through the academy. I don't think
Who
there's
is
a.
coming up through the
Oh,
academy?
do you know who I like? Ollie Watkins. Is it Ollie Watkins that plays for Aston Villa?
Ollie Watkins.
I don't think, truthfully.
You know. Oh
Kyogo.
Christ, there's Kyogo.
I-
Would you take Kyogo?
I'd take Danny Ings, mate, from West Ham.
Oh my god.
Like, you do well to name. You're not going to get anyone of Harry Kane's level.
Would Victor Osimhen from Napoli be a realistic target? Would he leave Napoli now?
Cam's trying to scramble around and think about who he is.
Yeah.
He's going to say Ivan Toney next.
I'd
So-
take Ivan Toney.
Oh, shut the fuck up. Victor Osimhen has reached
Osimhen, yeah.
100
Career
goals quicker than Ronaldo and Messi. Now,
Fucking hell.
That's
segue, he's a striker, and Messi and Ronaldo played midfield, and Messi was a winger. So that's the segue. But
That's like saying I write stuff quicker than people with no hands. It's a pretty pointless stat. That is.
I
Plays
mean, it obviously bigs up his value,
I
doesn't it?
I don't know.
I don't think Napoli see himself keeping them, no matter what. He's linked heavily with United as well. I don't know who the number one target is, but obviously Osimhen has more of a longevity from that standpoint. So I think that's what's maybe breathing life into the Harry Kane contract rumours that are flying around at Tottenham. But it'd be a lot of money. So if you
He wouldn't be cheap, no chance.
So you got 80 million for Harry Kane.
That is cheap, though. Oh, for
You're
Harry.
probably-
That would go straight back in for Osimhen, yeah.
You're probably in and around the £100 million pound mark for him. Napoli are going to win Serie A, and obviously there are a lot of people tipping them as dark horses for the Champions League as well.
Yeah, 100%, yeah. No, I'll happily put money on them.
Joe?
Yeah, Napoli look
Who have they
fucking
got?
solid. They got that Osimhen, they got that Georgian winger.
The
Oh,
team
did
in
you
the
see-
Champions League.
Who's the Georgian winger's name?
I can't. His name's It's a Wi-Fi password. It's like it begins with a K.
Yeah, it begins with a K, doesn't it? But,
Yeah,
so
ends with A. Ella.
I see.
Ella.
I see on Twitter that he scored again for Napoli, and then it had like his name and his badge, and someone had said, "Well, for fuck's sake, why hasn't this guy been called up for the England team yet?"
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Fantastic, it was brilliant. And then he tried to backtrack, saying like the old meme, like joke over your head. Nah, mate, there's no way, there's no chance.
You knew you fucked up. But fucking quality player though.
Yeah,
Got absolute baller, yeah.
I think they signed him pretty cheap, didn't they, as well?
Yeah, they got him from Ruben Kazan.
Oh.
And then, I think it was about 10, 20 million. And, I mean, what is he? He's only 20 years old and he's, again, quoted the same ridiculous numbers as Osimhen is in terms of price tag.
Napoli are nearly 20 points clear in Serie A.
Yeah, but who got a load of points? Juventus got a load of points deducted, didn't they? Again?
15 points.
Were they second?
I think they were.
I think they were like fourth or something. They weren't doing well.
If you had the 15 points on, they would be level with second.
Oh, okay.
Still 20 points beyond then.
Oh, yeah, Napoli have won it.
Good. Something different. Bayern Munich won, didn't they? 3-0. They're
Union
top of the league.
Berlin, yeah.
Shock.
Union, but they're still Dortmund are level on points with them.
Yeah, I mean, if I'd like to know if our league's a farmers' league, then what that league is supposed to be. That they've won it 11 times in a row, Bayern.
Juan Jesus is playing at the back for
I thought you was
Napoli these days.
Juan
Is it?
Jesus. I know they got that. They got that South Korean centre back, haven't they? That United one.
Kim Min Jae.
That's the one.
Kim Min Jae.
Yeah, so let me try
He's
and
playing next to Kim Jong Un.
let me try and let me try and pronounce this name.
Oh God, I know what name he's gonna go with.
Kvara Tashkila.
Turkish.
Kvara Tashkila. No, it's Georgian. We just established that.
I wasn't listening to you. I don't listen to you speak.
Don't watch football.
I don't really.
Ndombele. So look, he leaves Tottenham's going to win a trophy.
But they got that. They got that Zambo Anguissa,
you know
who was
what?
at
You know
Fulham
what's
once
sad?
upon a time.
Do you know what stat they brought out that Christian Eriksen's winning a trophy 23 days? He might have a heart attack in 10 days. Like fucking win his medal in a fucking coffin. Shut up.
It's that I see with Christian Eriksen is he left Tottenham, died, got brought back to life, and he still won a trophy before Harry Kane. Up front, that Raspadori.
Raspadori, good player. Then they got like
Lozano, that Simeone, that Giovanni Simeone.
He's a manager, isn't he?
Still quite
that's
young.
his boy, isn't it?
But,
Is it?
Yeah.
Prick.
But yeah, I mean, 20 games played for Victor Osimhen, 19 goals. He's all right.
He's alright.
He's alright. Can't complain them stats, can you?
Zielinski is the boy that used to be at Juve, wasn't he? Piotr Zielinski,
Yeah.
was he Polish lad?
Piotr Zielinski. He was that someone.
Good
No,
night,
it was just at Napoli, mate.
Was he
talking
just?
on-
Oh, okay.
Nah. Tottenham are in dire needs, mate. We'll see what happens. If they get Champions League football, it helps, but they are. Right.
Do you fancy your chances in the second leg with Milan?
I'd say it'd be stupid not to at home. I think Tottenham are on the night is what you get. Sometimes you can get the Tottenham that want to play 90 minutes, and sometimes you get the Tottenham that want to play 45 minutes. If we show up, there's not many. The run we went on last season when we got Champions League football proved that there's not many teams in the league when Tottenham are firing that can play with us. But unfortunately, it's been very far and in between this season. So if we can get on a run, I'd like to beat Milan. Just Giroud plays for them. That's about it. Get out of the last day of Champions League. Anything can happen.
Yeah, I mean, I think Napoli beat Frankfurt, didn't they, as well? Beat them
Yeah,
2-0
one.
from home,
Was
so
it 2-0?
I think they're 2-0 up on aggregate. So I think they're certainly someone that a lot of people won't want to play.
Well, it's probably Madrid or Bayern that'll win it this year. Chelsea are out. I can't see them turning Dortmund over.
They'd have to score, which is a problem.
Yeah. They only scored once in February, didn't they?
Yeah, that was against West Ham. God love West Ham.
Yeah, I'd probably put my money on Munich or Madrid again. Liverpool are out. City just can't do it. I don't know what it is.
Well, they laboured to a 1-1 draw with Leipzig, didn't they?
Yeah.
They
It
are.
wasn't anything groundbreaking, and that was with Timo Werner on for 70 minutes. Like, that guy's awful. I don't know. Chelsea broke him. They've this history of breaking strikers, but Timo Werner was horrific. Even playing for Leipzig again, but God, he was a difficult watch. That and Kunku come on as a substitute, and looked okay until Chelsea inevitably break him.
Yep, they certainly will.
Who else is left in it for English sides?
I'm trying to think. Tottenham is still left in it.
Liverpool,
Chelsea. Well, Liverpool.
Chelsea, and City.
Liverpool getting hit double barrel shotgun, mate. Tell you what, if they come back at the Bernabeu,
Mate,
that'd be
mate,
unbelievable.
get Bet365 up.
Benzema, like I don't think enough. I don't think there's enough respect on that guy's name because
Do you know?
Unbelievable player.
fair play to him. He's
I'm gonna put something out here. I don't think there's enough respect to put on Giroud's name, mate.
well, I mean, he's won a lot, isn't he? He's one of these guys that just always wins. Obviously, Milan won the title last
Yeah.
year, so he won Serie A, won the World Cup, took over Thierry Henry's record for most goals for France, won the Premier League with
Chelsea,
Chelsea, won the
Europa
French
League,
League with Montpellier.
FA Cup with Arsenal, because that's a big trophy for little
Did-
Arsenal.
Did he win the Champions League with Chelsea? Was he there?
Yeah,
Was he there that
God.
season when he won it?
yeah,
Fuck, he's got some fucking collection medals, hasn't he?
he has.
He's done alright for himself, Giroud.
Yeah, and he's a good-looking fella, so he must hurtle through Minge as well. So
Arsenal narrowly beat Leicester 1-0
Yes.
away from home.
big win, man.
Big win.
Big
Mane,
win energy.
yeah. Mane, he's alright, isn't he?
He's not too bad.
Game wasn't a lot in that game.
And then we also saw City win 4-1 away to Bournemouth. I think that was purely expected.
Not if you can.
I just merely said I wouldn't been surprised if they dropped points. They just don't look the ruthless City side that we've seen for the last 3 years. They've gone toe to toe with Liverpool. They've got 98, 99 and 100 points. Something doesn't look right with them.
Mm. I think, yeah.
But even then, they're playing Bournemouth. Something doesn't look right when they're playing when Ipswich in a cup game like they are terrible. Ryan Christie still on their books. Like, what the fuck?
Big Ryan Christie, man. Absolute baller.
But yeah, look, City have obviously got to put together a run. And then they've got Arsenal at the Etihad. But I think it's a two-horse race. I can't see Arsenal dropping enough points for United to come back into the title race, and United would have to be perfect basically from here on in. And
Yeah.
I can't see them doing it.
Seen crazier things happen.
Well, we were saying last week as well, like, I mean, in the sense of Arsenal, that this is Arsenal's best opportunity to win the title over this Man City side as of late. And this is, at the same time, the best opportunity for United to chase City down.
Yeah, I mean, then it's not completely out of the question, but I just, maybe if they'd have gone and got something at the Emirates and that, but they can't affect it anymore. You know what I mean? They're reliant on other things. I think Arsenal have had their wobble, and they got over the line against Villa. If they hadn't have done that, then maybe. But they got over the line against Villa, and then obviously they've gone away to Leicester and picked up a big result. So I think that they're through that wobble. Some of the fixtures on paper maybe look a little bit harder for Arsenal than they actually are. Like, you look at Chelsea and you think, but realistically, Chelsea are in a really bad spot. So, they don't have Tottenham. They don't have. I think they still have to go to St James's Park, but again, Newcastle.
They play Liverpool.
Again, that's a game that looks probably harder on paper than it is at the moment. So, this is what I mean. Like, the league definitely has fallen off a bit. Tottenham weren't the team that they were towards the back end of last season. Chelsea certainly not the same team. Liverpool not the same team. And while you've got the emergence of Brighton and Fulham and Brentford, that they still are limited in what they can do. And you see that when I know that Brentford took points off them, but Arsenal took 4 points off Brentford, and Brentford should have had the goal chalked off. So yeah, the the fighting in a league that isn't at the par that it's been for the last few years. And I always said they would have their wobble, and it was about how they responded, and they've had that. And City really could have put the pressure on and gone and got results against the likes of Forest and that, and they've let them off the hook after beating them at the Emirates and going top on goal difference and really turning the screw. They've just they've just let them off again, and they're five clear. I don't know if they still have their game in hand, but they're five clear.
I
of
think they
City.
do.
Yeah, they do.
So five clear, still with a game in hand.
Yeah, but I
We're
think
coming into March.
they play Everton at home Wednesday, which will be a hard game.
But Everton again, they don't travel well.
Yeah, but Arsenal just don't like playing.
I think they'll frustrate Arsenal, but I don't see Arsenal dropping points to Everton.
I mean, United 8 points off the pace.
Yeah, but you got to think Arsenal now going to the Europa League, and Arsenal team there's not a big enough squad to play in all these competitions.
I think he sacrifices the Europa League. I
I
can't
don't-
see him risking
Yeah,
that.
he'll definitely prioritise the league.
Don't know.
Oh, you got to.
Oh yeah, you do, but I think their last 6 games is like City. Their last 6 games is City, Chelsea, Newcastle, Brighton, Forest, and Wolves.
Yeah.
So, you think if I don't think Arsenal have it in them. I don't think there's not enough winning mentality in that team.
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, it's at the moment. Obviously, it's only a 2 point gap. Because obviously City have responded, so it's only a 2 point gap. So if they win their game in hand, it's 5 points. If City can put together a run and then beat them at the Etihad, that closes it to 2 points again. And then it really is a mentality game because one slip up and City could potentially go above. But I can't see City going on that run where they just churn out win after win. He's tinkering too much. Obviously, there's something wrong. De Bruyne's not in the team, and he's tinkering with the defense all the time, and so there's obviously something off at City for the first time in a while, and that's transpired to performances on the pitch. So it'll be difficult for them to put together the kind of run that will really crank up the pressure on Arsenal.
I think the pressure will be more when people start saying it's theirs to lose, it's theirs to lose. Because everyone don't think it's theirs to lose. They still think
Well, I think a
City.
lot of pundits like Jamie Carragher has openly come out and said he thinks Arsenal
mean,
will league. So I think
He spits on fans, so
But I think what's happening now is people are saying this. So people, you can't be top in February going into March and people not be talking about you, being firmly in a title race. So it's on now. They've got to go and I can't see anything but an Arsenal win on Wednesday that opens it up to 5 points, and then it's
And then Bournemouth at home on
time.
Saturday.
that should be a win. Easy win.
That should be a fucking onslaught. That should be.
But Everton's a funny one.
Everton will be a funny one. Like Bournemouth is more than convincing. Everton, like I said, could easily frustrate them, but I don't see Everton coming away with at least a point. I think Arsenal will scrape it in the end.
Yeah, I mean, the likes of Liverpool and Chelsea, I'm sure they'll want to spoil the party, but yeah, I just don't see it. I just don't see, that really, really difficult game or that difficult couple of fixtures that's gonna unravel them. Everton at home, like you said, I can't see there being any problem there. Away to Fulham after obviously being away to Sporting in the Europa League, they go
There'll
away
be
to
hard games.
away to Sporting, and then they're the early kickoff or early-ish 2 o'clock.
Fucking hell, that's harsh.
I imagine it's on a Sunday. The fact it's 2 o'clock, so
You'd like to think so.
they'll be playing that Thursday, Sunday bit. But yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how they deal with that. But then they come off of the home game against Sporting, and the Palace at home, Leeds at home, Liverpool away, which you look on paper and you think is tough, but Liverpool have been awful. West Ham away, which again normally you'd look on paper and going to West Ham over the last couple of years difficult, but they've been poor. Southampton at home,
Relegation zone battle,
should
though. This is what you got to realise.
should be easy enough. And then obviously they go away to City, at home to Chelsea, away to Arsenal, at home to Brighton. That's the chunk there. Isn't it really? You're away to City, then you're at home to Chelsea, and probably the only thing that Chelsea will be vying for is to spoil your season.
Mm.
Newcastle will be battling for European football away to Newcastle, and then at home to Brighton that have been really good. And then you play Forest on second from last game of the season. By that point, would probably be safe. And then Wolves that you know have looked far better under their new manager, so they may be fighting for their lives. But I think it's a real stretch to think that somewhere in there they'll drop enough points to allow the likes of United back in and
Yeah.
City. If we're looking at the breakdown of City's games, I don't know, it's weird with City because all of a sudden they were this immovable object, and now you're looking at they've Newcastle at home coming up, which could be tricky. Palace away, you'd expect them to be grand there. West Ham at home should be fine. They've got Liverpool at home, which again I think should be all right. Southampton away, they've already messed up there in the cup once this season, but you'd expect them to be okay. And then you know they go Brighton away, Arsenal at home, Fulham away again, which will be Fulham away would be difficult, and then Chelsea second from last game of the season. They have to go away to Everton 3 games before the end, and again Everton will be fighting, and then they're away to Brentford on the last day. Brentford hasn't been easy for anyone to go to, so I think you break down City of the tougher games, and I wouldn't expect City to go on one of those tearing runs that have got them to that 99 points that they have done before.
I don't know. I think every time. I don't know. I think it comes down to bottle, and I think C will hold theirs, and I think Arsenal won't. I think it just takes see if they drop points Wednesday and see are on their necks with no game in hand. I think that's what people forget. That the game in hand, everyone's like, yeah, they'll win that. Be 5 points clear. If they don't win that, then it's 2 points, and then you're asking.
That's it, and then that's when the pressure's on. It comes down to mentality. And it'll be the sense of and then it'll be a true test as to whether this is a new look Arsenal under a new regime, or we'll see that familiar mentality where they do fall at the final hurdle as they have done in the past.
Well, Everton will go to the Emirates full of confidence, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
They beat Leeds on the weekend and obviously got a result against them at Goodison, so I don't think they're going to be
Do exactly the same.
overly, scared of them because they've got a result. But Arsenal have been really, really good at home this season. The losses that they have picked up, bar City, I don't think either of the other two have come at home. Obviously, dropped points against Brentford, but they just seem to find a way, and that's the thing at the moment. When it's looking like it might be a draw, like at Villa, they find a way to get over the line. And
That was unbelievable, man.
yeah, so I think in these clutch moments, they've got players that are just finding a way, and I think they'll do it. But if they get drawn into it, that's when, if they can keep that gap, that kind of buffer, if they get the result in midweek and have that buffer, then I think they'll be in good stead if they do drop points and they do become within striking range of that game at the Etihad. I think that'll start to play on their minds. And if City get in front before that game at the Etihad, I think City will just pull away
Yeah.
because of, like you said, like they've been there, done it. But I think at the moment, I don't think there's much belief around City, really. You know,
that probably helps City though, doesn't it? That everyone's counting them out.
well, I still think there's a lot of people that think City will chase them down. I mean, actually, within the football club at the moment, there seems to be a lot of stuff happening. You know, not on the pitch. You know, court cases, Cancelo leaving. You know, reports of unhappiness within the ranks, and all that conspires to, poor performances. You know, distractions. You know, is Pep going to be there after this season? All that kind of stuff, and all that's kind of flying around, and that ultimately leads to, the kind of poor performances we've seen away at like the likes of Nottingham Forest. So I think if they were to win the title, I think a lot of City fans would say that this was, one of their best. Obviously, I don't think they'll ever top their Aguero moment, and then obviously they had that fantastic one last season where they were 2 down to Villa.
Yeah.
But I think they would rank this right up there if they would manage to maneuver their way through a good portion of games with everything that's going on and chase down this Arsenal team that's been incredibly consistent this season.
Yeah, 100%.
Fortunately, we'll have Burnley back in the league next year.
Yeah, I think that's a given as well. I've just realised I'm going to be fucking moody next week. It's the Tin Pot Derby on Saturday.
Bristol City.
Yep. So we have that to look forward to next week. Hurrah! Can we expect you back next week, Cam? Or is that too soon to say?
I'm always here.
Okay, I need you to lift the spirits.
You gonna watch some football this week?
I'll probably watch us go through the FA Cup. I don't know who we have Saturday.
Who do you have in the FA Cup?
Sheffield Wednesday. If we don't beat Sheffield Wednesday, I might just fucking end it all, mate.
Sheffield Wednesday. I mean,
Sheffield
it's lucky
United.
we're not a bid podcast because you just insulted half of Sheffield.
Fucking, what's the other half of Sheffield gonna do? Shit on their hands and clap.
I think you just redeemed yourself with half of Sheffield, but you got those Wrexham haters, Billy Sharp, that was triggered by.
He's fucking fuming, wasn't he?
Just a knob, isn't he?
He's a right fucking cockbite, isn't he?
I mean, if the Tottenham admin has any kind of banter, it'd be doing the
Sheffield.
eyes emoji and looking up the next round to get under his skin.
Yeah.
Sheffield United Wednesday should beat them.
Ollie McBurney.
And then Sunday we have. We play Saturday.
Fucking ginger scrotum.
We have Wolves, so we'll probably lose to Wolves. It's a 3:00 kickoff. I won't be watching that. I'll be in the pub getting pissed.
Ollie McBurney, I'll be saddened after watching his Rangers get beat in the cup final. Carl Affey was pictured on a plane to Glasgow
Again
on Sunday. So
Did it
I
crash?
hope he was in the crowd somewhere. Hope he was in the crowd somewhere living it up.
I'd be in the corporal booth, wouldn't he?
Beautiful Sunday. No, I don't think Linfield pays that well, mate.
No, I think he does.
He'd be fucking hanging out the back of Ollie McBurney in a fucking jail cell.
Oh, sounds a joke.
As always, alright, Cam, don't get upset with me.
I'll just scratch my leg, mate.
Yep, you're having a whale of a time there. Right.
Yeah, ready for bed.
Top 10. So, starting top of the table, we got Liam Standing, 1437. Second place, we got Mike, 1414. Third is me, 1386. Fourth is... somehow. Fourth is Joe, 1328. Fifth is Endrogene, 1325. Only a 3-point gap between those two. Sixth is Joel, 1324. Fucking hell, you're a point behind fifth. So, yeah.
Someone's changed their team round.
Joel's in the top 4 mix. Seventh is A Can Be Blessing, 1312. Eighth is Cam, 1274. And then there's little old Sam on 1271.
I'm not-
3 points separating you and Sam, Cam.
Oh, could you imagine I'd get fucking cunt. I'd get cunt on his back of his Tottenham to
Would you?
make him wear it. Oh yeah.
You can pay
I
for
like
the printing,
men.
mate.
Let's be honest, right? I'm glad I'm, towards relative safety, because this is going to be absolutely dead, right? And then the last 3 games of the season is going to roll around, and it's going to get real for Sam that he might be in a Tottenham top, right? And he's going to start investing time in it, and because Cam's probably already got his JD Tottenham top with the name on the back printed, Cam's going to start to care about it. And the last 3 games of the season are going to be beautiful watching them.
Look
scrap it
me
out.
in the eyes. Do I look like I fucking care?
Yeah.
You
I haven't
really
even
do,
looked.
mate. You really do.
Mate, I'll wear shin pads. Get me out of
I'll wear shin pads, bruv.
I mean, I'm hoping I'll pick up some more points because there's
What top would you go in? The middle
Trent.
top?
Zinchenko
Joel.
plays tomorrow, Martinelli plays tomorrow, Saka plays tomorrow, Robertson plays tomorrow, Trent plays tomorrow. So I'm on 53 points here, but double game week. Well,
What top would you be in?
Don't know. Don't have to worry about it.
Fucking yeah, I was gonna say like.
I was going to say, I don't think Joel has to worry about it.
Yeah, I really can't give a shit.
Yeah, probably an Arsenal top because put to bed that it would have been. It's a Premier League fantasy football, so it would be Premier League. Anyone tries to buy me a Rangers top, and I'll try and go on with it.
I would have shit out my hands and throw at someone. They tried to do it to me, but
What is it with you shitting on your hands?
Yeah, he's got some kind of fetish, isn't he?
yeah.
Gentlemen, pleasure as always. Yeah, pleasure as always. Thanks for joining me this evening.
Always.
Always, man.
Ladies and gents, thank you for tuning in. If you are new to the Football Booth podcast, you can check out all episodes over on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Audible. If you want to see all the live recordings, you can check out our YouTube channel, The Football Booth, where you can find them there. Whilst you're over there, drop a like, subscribe, and hit that thumbs up. Until next Monday, I bid you all good night and a star.